Ikuzo.
I don't have any issues with WWF at all. I mean, obviously, we all have, things that, happen and, wish they didn't. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, and I think they are too, man, it's just business as usual. If it makes sense, then yeah, of course we would do it. But the only ones that make sense to me are matches like Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, guys like that, matches that probably should have happened that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, those things like that. Yeah, I would love to do it. In fact, I've got a match I'm doing in Philly on the weekend of the 7th, I believe it is, with Davey Boy Smith Jr. So I'm going to be doing a wrestling match down there. So I'm still competing, still getting in the ring, rolling around with some of these guys. So yeah, it should be fun. But again, like I said, WWF or any organization, if it makes sense, absolutely. I enjoy wrestling. It's entertainment. It's fun, and I can still go. So.
Yeah, and there's that famous metaphor that the soldier can't live without the war, and you said now that you are still competing, and I want to ask you as a fighter, can you live without a fight? Because in one way or another, you are in the business for more than 3 decades.
Yeah, I've said this before. A lot of people fight for a career or a job, but I fight because it's my way of living. It's who I am. It's who I'll always be. And I'll never stop being a fighter. I don't care if I'm 80 years old. That's just who I am, period. So the days of people saying that I'm retired, I won't fight anymore, I just won't say that, because I will always be a fighter. And I don't believe that at any point in time in my life, if someone steps up and does something to me, that I won't defend myself.
Yeah, but listen, when you're in the sports like MMA, obviously that's so dangerous, and in professional wrestling that causes so many injuries. We know so many guys that have a problem with their knees, with their shoulders, everything. Tell me on that, how difficult was it to deal with that? With pro wrestling, some guys are wrestling 200 days a year. I mean, how crazy of a schedule is that? How did you handle the physical toughness of it, so to speak? And how different is it from MMA?
A lot of questions.
Yeah, no, but that's good, because for me, I thought that wrestling was a lot harder than MMA because of the schedule. We would go 10 days in a row, come home for 3, and then go back out for 4, come home for 2, 3, then go back out for another 7 or 8. So we were out more than we were home.
Yeah.
And that takes a toll on your body, because you don't get the chance to heal for a long period of time. It's always out there. And people go, well, yeah, but it's entertainment. You're not really. No, we take the same kind of punishment and pounding on our body than guys do when they're training, because we're getting slammed, we're getting kicked, we're getting hit with chairs. They're still there. We're just learning how to take them.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're not landing still. They are. And so if you add that in on the amount of days that you're doing that a year, and you do it for multiple years, that's a lot of punishment on your body. That's what I think most people don't realize about pro wrestling, is that it may not be in there competitive as far as winning and getting your hand raised, but it's very, very competitive when you're in there trying to do it every day, taking those kind of bumps day in and day out, and then come back and have to do it again all over again for 360 something days a year. It's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I read that Rey Mysterio did the surgery on his knee 5-6 times. I mean, crazy, right?
Well, I broke my neck twice, and I've got brackets in my neck 1 through 7, my lower back 1 through 3, titanium ball in my shoulder, metal in my left knee, broken nose many times, concussion. So there's being an athlete, and especially if you do it for a long period of time at a very high level, your end days, you have to be very, very, very cautious and conscious of how you're living your life as you get older, and making sure that you're taking care of yourself, because otherwise, like you're seeing a lot of these other guys dying in their 50s, late 50s and early 60s because they just give up. They don't have the ability or the mindset to fight anymore. And because of probably the way they did not take care of themselves after they were done being an athlete. For me, I think it's a way of life to be able to take care of your body, be able to train, be able to stay in shape. You don't stop doing it just because you stop doing what you love doing, which is, being a professional athlete. You don't just stop doing that. It's like being a musician, right? When musicians play their music, when they get done, stop playing on stage, they still play at home. They still, get their guitar or their drums or do whatever they do, and they play around with it because that's who they are. Athletes should think the same thing. You don't stop being an athlete. You got to continue to keep doing what you've been doing, because with all the injuries that you've accumulated over the years at being a great athlete will catch up to you and bury you if you don't keep it in check by staying fit.
Yeah.
We stay genuine, uncensored and unscripted, and we always will, as we have to order our usual. Share us and subscribe us, and stay tuned until the next Wednesday. Ikuzo!